Hello everyone, PallyTime here. We are back in Heroes of the Storm today. Allow me to Alt-Tab to lower my mic volume, which is now overloading. Alright, fantastic. I hope you guys are having a great day. Today we're going to try something a little different. This is a replay of a game that I recently played. Of course, I am playing as the Twitchy Stitches over in the mid lane. This is a replay on the brand new Garden map. I thought I would show it off a little bit. And also mess around with the replay system. Now, this replay system is nowhere near completed. This is something that is still being worked on by Blizzard, and it's not even integrated into the Heroes of the Storm client yet. This is something you have to dig through your files to find. This is something you have to edit files to even be able to use. So keep in mind this is a very early build. Also keep in mind that I don't normally post-commentate things, so if I mess up, cut me a little slack. Cut me a little slack. We do have an engagement down to the bottom lane from the enemy Kerrigan and Lily versus our Kerrigan and Demon Hunter, and I, just right out the gate, level 1, I'm coming in saving the day. You gotta take care of those ladies, you know what I'm saying? You gotta take care of them. So we have a Kerrigan, Demon Hunter, Stitches, Tyrael, and Brightwing. The enemy team, Zeratul, Witch Doctor, Abathur, Lily, and Kerrigan. So we have two Kerrigans. I'm sure that won't get confusing. Alright, so in the middle lane, wow, we are going to grab the enemy Witch Doctor into tower range. He does a good job of laying down that zombie wall, which is going to deter me from chasing him too much more. And Abathur doing a very good job of supporting middle with mines. Because it is a solo lane, he's mining it up. So if I try to get fancy and come around from the side, we are going to be taking a little bit of additional damage. Up in the top lane, once again, we do have Tyrael and Brightwing versus Zeratul. Basically, in this position, where Tyrael is super tanky by himself, and Brightwing is one of the best healers in the game, a solo lane Zeratul is not going to be able to do anything except for sit under this tower and hope for the best. He's really going to have to rely on Abathur to help him out here. And it looks like down in the bottom lane, the sustain of Kerrigan and Lily is outmatching the damage potential of the Demon Hunter and Kerrigan. We do have a potential gank in the middle lane. Is it going to be enough? No, I mess up the grab and hit a minion with about 4 health. So it is nighttime. It doesn't really get represented very well with the replayer. When you're actually in the game, it gets very dark at this point as you venture into the jungle. So at night you have these seedlings popping up. You kill them and they drop seeds. You can see the seed count at the bottom right-hand side of your screen. Looks like the enemy Witch Doctor getting a little courageous here, walking into our entire team. The grab does go down with the Parasite of Abathur on top of his head. I thought it might be enough for him to get out of there with the shielding of Abathur, but of course it wasn't. And Zeratul saw all of that and he was like, nope. Nope, not doing that, nope. So we're basically killing these creatures in the jungle right now at night to gather these seeds. When we get 100 seeds, we can spawn a giant golem from this little flower pot back in our spawn. And it's a pretty interesting game mechanic. So up in the top lane, Zeratul is getting solo lane XP right now. At least he would be if he was killing these a little bit quicker. He does have sight of everyone else in the game, so he should be pushing that very aggressively. It looks like a 4-man gank is going to take down the enemy Kerrigan as she was trying to gather seeds. That's a little unfortunate. It's a little unfortunate. I did miss that. I apologize. There's no directed camera or anything in this, so we're pretty much going off of where I'm looking at a particular time. Now our entire team opting to all go for mercenaries at one time. Now we do clear mercenaries very fast by doing this, but if you look at the map, they're getting XP in the bottom lane, the enemy team is. They were getting XP in the middle lane, and they were getting XP in the top lane. So that means that while we were generating nothing, they were all generating XP for their team. So you have to be careful with your team distribution in situations like that. As we are taking the middle siege giants, the enemy team is taking the, I believe these are the top mercenaries, the top knights for their team. So both teams doing a good job of, after the objectives were completed, heading back and trying to get some mercenaries. A grab going down on Kerrigan. She does have the Parasite of Abathur and the healing of Lily. Lily actually getting envenomated there, is going to die inches away from the well where she could have healed herself. Who had the envenom? Oh, Kerrigan. Wow, that's very rare for a Kerrigan to take up Envenom. Basically, it's it's a damage over time thing. Over 6 seconds, she's going to deal 400 damage with that Envenom. Very, very cool. The fight of the giants is progressing in the middle lane, and of course, the Witch Doctor great at pushing lanes and controlling areas, so the Witch Doctor is going to take down those golems very quickly. The Demon Hunter coming in for a gank with the assistance of Kerrigan, but it's not going to be enough. The Witch Doctor is going to back out of there. Maybe I could have pulled the grab, maybe it was on cooldown. I guess you guys can see my cooldowns at the bottom as long as I select my character. Keep in mind, once again, I'm still trying to learn the ins and outs of this replay system, and it's nowhere near finished. But we do have 3 people for both teams in the middle lane, 4 if you count Abathur. Abathur's Parasite looks like it's going to be up on the... No, it's on this minion right here. Oh, the enemy Kerrigan jumping on top of the friendly Kerrigan, just barely not doing enough damage to take them both down. Now this suddenly turns into a 2 versus 3, 2 versus 4 if we're continuing to count Abathur, which we are. And we're basically going to have to sit behind our wall and hope it holds. Now all of these towers are completely out of ammunition, so they're not going to be dealing any damage to anything. So it's up to us to push the enemy team back here. A good zombie wall is going to be trapping Brightwing and potentially cutting off my escape back into the safety of the fort. They are continuing to pursue under this fort's damage. A grab going down on Lily is going to bring her into that ballistic damage from the fort. And now Zeratul on the scene is going to be engaging on Brightwing. A zombie wall is going to catch both of the Kerrigans inside as we are once again forced back. Tyrael now arriving on the scene as well, but getting focused down very aggressively. No deaths happened at all for either of the team. Uh-oh, the enemy Kerrigan engaging once again, but a fantastic polymorph is going to interrupt all of that damage. A grab pulling Kerrigan back, and our team collapsing on her is going to be enough to kill them. And then I say... dim hams in chat. Apparently I was proud of my grabs, but I have a ham and it's funny. Nighttime is once again falling upon the battleground, and the seeds, the seedlings, the plant life, I don't know what you want to call these, are once again emerging. Brightwing opting to take down this group on the right, while Kerrigan and the Demon Hunter are jumping in on the main golem. Up on the top side of the map, we do see the enemy Witch Doctor doing the same thing, going for the golem. Now, he can actually solo this by himself, I would say, actually pretty easily, as long as he doesn't get caught in these stuns that he just got caught in there. So basically, both teams are dividing up. The enemy team going for the top lane, the friendly team going for the bottom lane. We have 185 seeds right now, so we could spawn a golem whenever we want to. Once again, this is not a objective that will just happen. Kind of like the golem on the Haunted Mines. This is something you have to go back to this plant and actively click on. So it adds a little bit of strategy. Looks like Tyrael is jumping in on everyone on the enemy team, using his ultimate to try to lock down Lily, dealing as much damage to her as he can, but it's not going to be enough. Lily's passive allows her to get out of almost any situation. I was coming in for a little bit of assistance. Brightwing using her Blink Teleport to keep up the Tyrael. A good grab going down on the enemy Witch Doctor is going to be enough to secure his death. His zombie wall definitely did not help that situation. And now we are on the upward spiral. Really, that's what I'm going with. Now we are on. We have the upper hand. That's what I'm going with. We have the upper hand. We are going to be able to push back the enemy team. And I mentioned commentating is hard. Commentating is hard. All right, Zeratul is engaging Brightwing up at the top lane, using his ultimate to stick to her. We are going to pull him back, but a very fantastic blink, a very, very well-used blink, is going to get him back in range of Brightwing. That was a very good play on his part. Typically, that grab would have been enough to save Brightwing there. But very good play, very good play. Now Kerrigan and Lily for the enemy team are pushing the top lane. There's not much ammunition left in these towers. If they wanted to, they could definitely tank this damage and just completely decimate this forward line. Looks like that's what they are going to do. I think that's a good decision. Meanwhile, we do have a terror being spawned by the enemy team. This is the terror I've been talking about all game. The enemy does spawn one, and we spawn one as well down at the bottom. Now, this golem does have 2 abilities. One of them is this plant that will completely nullify buildings and structures nearby. So basically, he makes it so that the towers near that plant do not deal any damage. And the other ability is... I wonder if I can show it to you. It's basically kind of a polymorph. It turns the enemies into a plant and makes it so they can't cast anything and deal reduced damage. So kind of an interesting skill set. Of course, they're very, very tanky. That's it right there. So if an enemy walked into that, they would be turned into a plant that's silenced. Kind of interesting mechanics. Interesting mechanics. Kerrigan, still pushing the top lane, does manage to take down 2 towers, a wall, a 3rd tower, and a fort without being even remotely contested. Now, we were dealing with a golem from the enemy team, so that was a very, very good idea to split push top lane while we were preoccupied. Very, very good play. There's a little bit of a team fight going on down in the bottom lane. Tyrael engaging with that ultimate is going to completely lock down Zeratul. Zeratul blinking out with hardly any health is going to be healed by the Lily ultimate. Now Kerrigan, with her ultimate going on, is going to deal a ton of AoE damage and is going to take down Lily fairly easily. The spirit coming out from the Witch Doctor now is going to push our entire team back. There's not much you can do but run away from that ultimate unless you have a stun to interrupt the Witch Doctor. Such a terrifying thing when he has good positioning. Now this is a copy from Abathur. Tyrael engaging on this is going to completely decimate that copy. Zeratul and the Witch Doctor waiting for a good opportunity to engage. Brightwing is going to fall to this damage, and we are going to take down, I don't know who we took down. Tyrael is going to fall to the damage of Brightwing, the damage of Zeratul, the Witch Doctor, and the minion from Kerrigan. So it looks like our Kerrigans, they both took different ultimates, so that should play out to be a little interesting. The enemy Kerrigan taking that Ultralisk, which will continue to do damage after she dies, but our Kerrigan picking up the AoE around her, which gives her a shield to keep her alive longer. So definitely an interesting balancing act we're going to see between the two of these. The friendly Kerrigan sees that they're getting this mercenary camp. Is she going to try anything? I think it'd be pretty foolish, but she's going in with a ton of burst damage on that Witch Doctor, stunning the Witch Doctor now as she tries to make her escape. Yeah, that definitely wasn't a good idea. That definitely wasn't a good idea. Never walk into a 1v3. I understand what she was trying to do. She was trying to delay this mercenary camp, but yeah, it was scary. Don't do that. Once again, it is nighttime on the map. The enemy team once again going back up to the top to get their seeds, while we're going down to the bottom to get our seeds. Interesting balancing act. It's definitely an interesting balancing act. Now, we could go and contest this whenever we wanted to, and they could contest us whenever they wanted to. For some reason, in this game, we were like, no, man, you want to get your seeds? You get your seeds. It's fine. We might as well be just going to a grocery store and buying these things in a little baggie. I mean, that's how easy both teams are getting seeds right now. So as far as I understand, as long as one seed is left, daytime will never come back. During daytime, mercenaries... Wait, what? Is it day... Okay, I guess it is daytime and this is a bug? I don't know. Okay, so during the day, that's when mercenaries come out. These mercenaries disappeared. Maybe it's a bug with the replayer. I'm not too sure. Really confused, actually. But during the daytime, mercenaries don't come out. Or do come out. During nighttime, mercenaries vanish. So there's some strategy on whether or not you want to make it return to day again so you can get mercenaries, or if you want to keep the map dark so mercenaries can't spawn. I fuck up a friendly grab there, pulling Tyrael away from the golem that he was trying to pursue. The golem's going to walk right into the tower line, do a little bit of damage. I mean, it really did not accomplish much there. Now the Demon Hunter going in with her ultimate, the spin to win, is going to easily take down the enemy Witch Doctor. Now, Witch Doctor did not have a lot of support from his team there as he was pushing with that golem. Zeratul engaging on the friendly Demon Hunter. I am going to grab him away. Is it going to be enough to keep the Demon Hunter alive? No, it is not. She is going to fall there. The ultimate from Lily coming out, and a desperate attempt to keep her team alive, but it is not going to be enough. We do, I believe, lose 2 members of our team, but the enemy team is going to lose. Kerrigan, don't die. Don't die, Kerrigan. Don't do it. Oh, Lily's gonna get away. I can't believe that. That was a blind grab, ladies and gentlemen, over the wall, but no damage to follow up with. No damage to follow up with. So it was almost an even trade. I think we got 1 more kill than the enemy team did there. We are level 16 versus their level 16, so we're absolutely even as far as that goes. And they do have a group of siege giants pushing down our tier 2 towers. The grab is going to go down on that golem just to keep him out of tower range a little bit more. We want him doing as little damage to that as possible. You'll often see me when I play Stitches using my grab on giant mercenaries like that, just to kind of change what they're attacking. Excuse me. I think it's a pretty good idea. It's something I do quite a bit. So, if I remember right, this mercenary camp right here was bugged in the game, and if you look on the mini-map, you actually see little minions there, but for whatever reason, they're not there. We do have a... Can I go back? we're going to go back. I want to show you guys something I did. We do have a golem going up to the top lane. This is done by Tyrael. I believe he went back to get this. So as he's spawning, he's going to let everybody know that he's going to pick up this golem. We'll speed it up a little bit. Follow his character. So he's making his way up to the top lane. As I mentioned before, in my talents, which I should be able to show you, I decided to pick up the ability to grab friendly units and also increase my hook range. So I thought, you know, it would be nice. Let's give the giant a little bit of a ride up to the front lines a little bit. Let's help him get over here. And then he's like, man, what a good guy. So we do have our golem pushing down the top lane. This is the tier 1 tower, still standing for the enemy team. Ultimate's going down in all directions. A good grab is going to pull the Witch Doctor completely out of this engagement. A polymorph going down on the enemy Kerrigan is going to reduce all of her damage. Now the Witch Doctor doing the right thing. Now that my stun has been used, he is using his spirit to deal a massive amount of damage to the friendly Brightwing and is going to take her out of the fight. Now, Tyrael continuing to engage under this fort's damage by himself. I go in with the grab, but he dies as the hook lands, and it wasn't enough. So the enemy team doing a great job of capitalizing on that damage potential of that vengeful spirit coming out from the Witch Doctor. You pretty much have to save your stuns for the Witch Doctor, or he will kill your whole team if they don't run away from it. The friendly Demon Hunter doing the right thing, going across the map as far away from the enemy team as she can and picking up this mercenary camp. And once again, as she was clearing that, she would have to walk all the way around the wall. So I was like, hey, baby girl, why don't you come over here and help me get some seeds? So I just pull her over the wall. Now the Witch Doctor, once again, getting a little brave, is going to be pushed back by myself and Brightwing, who teleported in for a little bit of assistance. Abathur laying down some mines to try to get a little bit of damage out. And once again, we are taking the golem down in the bottom lane, but this time, the enemy team doesn't want us to have these seeds that easy. Zeratul engaging on the Demon Hunter is going to take her down with that massive damage burst from her ultimate, but Kerrigan will not let him escape. Jumping in is going to take him down. The Witch Doctor trying to use his zombie wall to juke us out of the way, but does catch himself in it, and we are going to get a very, very easy kill with the help of Kerrigan's ultimate there. I'm completely out of mana, so I will be returning to base. The enemy Kerrigan and Lily are picking up all of the seeds in the top lane, and once again, both teams are able to spawn a golem at this point. Tyrael up in the top lane is going to be taking down the mercenary camp that they spawned right after they won that last team fight. This is definitely an interesting way to watch these matches. I have so much respect for people like Husky StarCraft and Day 9 who can commentate these like it's what they were born to do. I definitely have a lot of room to improve on, definitely. The enemy Kerrigan is going to be engaging on Tyrael up in the top lane, the stuns and the grab already being used. Usually you want to space those out a little bit, but Tyrael is going to get away. Meanwhile, that golem I was talking about does get spawned by the enemy team, and it is going up into the top lane. The seeds going down, the plants going down are going to completely disable these towers until we kill that. And we now have an Abathur copy of Kerrigan on the scene who is going to be doing a ton of damage to these towers, completely melting our tier 2 defenses. You can't really see it very well, but I am going in with my slow under my body here, which is going to be hindering all of their escapes. The friendly Demon Hunter does come in with the spin to win, and we are going to take down that Kerrigan. The grab coming back, the grab coming out is going to pull back the enemy golem, and now we have a Lily completely out of position. But if there's anyone who can get away from this, it would be Lily, but unfortunately not today. So if you ever see me running around like crazy, it's because I'm using the Putrid Bile. You can't really see it very well with this UI, but it's basically green bubbles on the ground. The enemy Witch Doctor getting very brave as he is really overextended in the middle lane. So as of right now, map control is relatively even. We still have a bottom tier 1 fort. The enemy team still has a top tier 1 fort. But other than that, oh, they have middle as well. So they have a little bit more ground than we do. Fight going out here up in the top lane as the Witch Doctor is using his Vengeful Spirit on me. Once again, that does a ton of damage, but we're just going to blind grab that motherfucker over a wall and pull him into my entire team. Don't fuck with me. I'm MFPT. That's what I said out loud as that happened. The plant is using, or the golem is using the plant to nullify the damage of the turrets, but Zeratul's going to blink in and take that down very, very quickly. Oh, so close. That was such a close grab. That was such a close grab. So we have the enemy team kind of grouping up, getting ready for this attack in the top lane. We have Kerrigan on our team, not really in position for that. So let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on here. The enemy team is jumping in on our golem, going to take it out very, very quickly. Now Tyrael and Brightwing looking like they want to get out of dodge. But we do have reinforcements from Sarah Kerrigan on our team. Are we going to be able to make anything happen with this? We do have a copy of Lily coming out from Abathur, but it's going to be instantaneously nuked down, or is it? No, it's still in there somewhere. Wow, we turned that around with a fantastic ultimate from Tyrael, and I think I actually saved Zeratul there, unfortunately. That was a really good re-engage from Tyrael going in and just completely displacing their entire enemy team. Very, very, very nicely done. Very nicely done. Alright, so right now the only people alive on the enemy team are the Witch Doctor, Zeratul, and Abathur, who has not moved from middle lane this whole time. He's like, this is my spot and I will stay here. He has used... the Vengeful Spirit coming out from the Witch Doctor in a great position. He's in a place that we cannot get to him. Wow. That did a ton of damage. It didn't kill anyone, but it did a ton of damage. Now Tyrael very, very low on health. I tried to do a little bit of body blocking, keeping Zeratul out of there, but a good zombie wall is going to catch the friendly Kerrigan in place. Uh-oh. Is this where I die? Is this where the motherfucker falls? I think it is. They are going to do a good job of chasing me down as I couldn't get away. Zeratul actually using his ultimate to dismount me there, I believe. Abathur, man. Abathur, you need to move up. Your locusts aren't doing any damage. Your locusts are going to get about halfway up here and then die. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they increase the duration on that. No, basically his locusts are going to get to this wall and then they're just going to completely disappear. So, pro tip, if you're playing Abathur, eventually you need to move up to more isolated locations. I mean, he can move up to like right here and be relatively safe, and then his locusts would continue to push into this fort. The enemy team is taking the top night camp, which is, of course, going to be pushing down the top lane. We are moving down to the bottom to take the golems, which, I mean, if you're asking me, the night camp definitely is much more important. They're also going to be taking the top siege camp, so 4 people of the enemy team are in the top lane, and we have a vulnerable fort up in the top lane as well, a vulnerable tier 2 fort, so they could potentially do a lot of damage to us here if we let them. I'm just now respawning. That's how long I was dead. We now notice that they are congregating up in the top lane. Kerrigan coming in is in a bad position, is going to be jumped in by the enemy Kerrigan. Oh, but the God Hands, you know, the God Hands, they'll save the day. They'll save the day. You got to take care of the ladies. You got to take care of them. The enemy team trying to re-engage on Brightwing, but a good stun from Tyrael using that ultimate is going to lock down Zeratul as the friendly Demon Hunter comes in with that spin to win ultimate. It's going to be enough to take down this Kerrigan. She does have the help of Brightwing, or excuse me, does have the help of Abathur, but no, not going to be enough. Not going to be enough. Is Lily going to make it out of here? Once again, I keep saying, if Lily... If there's going to be someone that can survive, it's going to be Lily. I mean, basically, I don't know if I can show you. Let's see what I can show you with this UI. So Lily's passive. Upon taking damage, she gets 15% movement speed to just get the fuck out of dodge. That's what she can do every time she gets hit. So basically, if you get hit on Lily, just start running the fuck away, and there's not much really anyone can do about it. And I guess Rhaegar can kind of gap close on that. A very big minion push up in the top lane is going to be enough to take down our tier 1 fort, but we have taken down theirs as well. So catapults are going to be spawned in both for both teams up in the top lane. Meanwhile, down in the bottom lane, we do have the Witch Doctor and Lily going to take out a tier 1 fort, our one remaining tier 1 fort. But no matter, we are hell-bent on pushing down this lane. We don't even have any minions up here. We're just like, fuck it. We're going to win this game. Abathur, not looking at himself, is going to be taken down. I don't think the Demon Hunter really needed to use that spin to win ultimate there. Where are you going, Zeratul? Get the fuck back over here. Forcing him to use his blink, but Tyrael using his ultimate to lock down Zeratul. Kerrigan not even hesitating. Excuse me, is going to jump in on that like crazy. A really good Vengeful Spirit was used by the witch doctor over the wall, but we broke down everything so fast that he wasn't able to kill any members of the friendly team with it, and now we are in a very dominant position to win this game. The middle tier 2 fort almost completely taken down. The majority of the friendly team is focusing on this core. 4 members of the enemy team are dead and don't look like they're going to be coming back up. I just wanted to take down the fort, man. I was hell-bent. I was like, I'm going to auto-attack this thing. It is my right to have hands and auto-attack things with them. And that is going to be the conclusion of what I thought was a pretty exciting game. This whole replay system, it's hard to do without directed camera. It's really hard to do without directed camera. I'm going to feel stupid if there is directed camera. No, there's not. No, there's not. So I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of different look at what goes on in Heroes of the Storm games. So is this just done? It's just over. Okay. The replay's complete. If we go back, everyone should be dancing. I just want to go back like 5 seconds. I want to see everybody dancing at the core. So this is definitely something I need a little bit more practice in. I have commentated League of Legends matches before, but that was almost a year and a half ago. It's been a long time. I'm definitely out of practice. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you want to see more replays like this, just let me know down in the comments, and we can definitely make that happen. It's kind of nice not to have to talk my head off when I'm playing the game and still be able to make videos for it. You know what I mean? So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you all next time.